Hey, see me? That was loud. Well, I just saw Star Wars, The Last Jedi. And what I mean by just saw it, I mean last night. And I was thinking, hey, should I record the video in my car or should I wait till the next morning? And I was like, you know what? I'll wait till the next morning because there were some things when I saw, I was like, that's weird. I don't know if I like that. But after, having it marinate inside my brain and I'm already like thinking of like different reasons and all that extra stuff for certain events happening, now I have like a more set opinion on certain things. I'm gonna close this door here because what if my dog barks? There you go. Anyways, I'm not gonna spoil this part of the review. I'll let you know when I get into the whole spoilery shit. And you can trust me, I'm not gonna like say no spoilers and then like say like Han Solo dies. I'm not like that. Anyways. Did I like the movie? Yes. Do I like it a lot? Yes. Do I like the acting? Yes. Do I like the directing? Yes. What's the biggest problem with the movie? My opinion would be the pacing, but that's because I feel like it tried to do Empire Strikes Back format elevated. What I mean by that is that you have one character's journey and then a group of characters' journey and then another character's journey. If that makes sense, like Empire Strikes Back is like 3 different stories kind of like progressing. That's what Last Jedi does. I'm not going to get much into more detail than that, but that is what happens. Do I think you should go see it? Obviously. Like, it's really fucking good. I don't know what else to say besides saying, yeah, it's good. Everything's great. There's some things that might go like, wait, what? But once you think about things, you'll be like, okay, I end up liking those decisions. And big warning, this is the weirdest Star Wars movie ever. It's not, like, yeah, what I mean by weird is, I mean, it's not like Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace bullshit. I mean, like, it's like you have a director like Rian Johnson going, okay, this is gonna be the movie I want to make. Don't fuck with it. Like, this, like, he does some real shit, like, that made me think of that Han Solo scene in Force Awakens where he's like, that's not how the Force works. But then again, how am I supposed to know how the Force works? I'm not a Jedi. I'm just a regular human being trapped on Earth. But, we all have our crosses to bear. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's all you gotta know about if you should go see it or not. Now I'm gonna get into some spoilery shit for people that have seen the movie or people that don't give a fuck. But if you don't give a fuck, don't be telling other people that do give a fuck because they're gonna hate you. They're gonna wanna kick your ass. I've seen it. Remember, Vince? You spoiled some shit for Jose? Slapped your ass silly. Anyways, let's get started from the beginning. Poe Dameron, who's he's my favorite character that's not, he's like, I don't feel like he's a primary character, but I feel like he's just behind a primary character. Like, it's not focused on him, but he does have a storyline. He's one of my favorites. He's awesome. Black Leader. He does some shit. He blows up it's basically a bigger Star Destroyer, I'll say that. I forgot the fucking name of the thing, but it kind of looks like half of a grilled cheese sandwich. And what I mean by that, it's kind of like a triangle instead of like a pyramid shaped thing. Anyways, he gets it to blow up, but at the cost of many lives of people in those bomber ships. But important about those bomber ships is that one of those, the Asian girl that you see that she gets blown up, I forgot her name. I think her name is Paige. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, she kind of blows up because Poe Dameron, there's that scene where he shuts off like comms with Leia. Everyone in the theater was like, did he just do that? Oh shit, shit's gonna go down. And guess what? Shit does go down. And, he gets bitch slapped by Leia. He gets demoted. And then Laura Dern's character with the purple hair, she's like, at first when I saw her character, and she was all like saying, oh, we're not gonna do anything just yet, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was like, huh. Is she working with the Empire from the inside to fuck up everything? Huh? That's the first thought that came to my mind. I was wrong. She does some badass shit. I'm gonna try to go from order. I'm gonna try so hard not to miss anything, but it's such a overwhelming movie. Like, it's the longest Star Wars movie, so yeah, be aware of that. Okay, I'm gonna go from order to order. Okay, so basically that happens, and then we cut back to where Force Awakens ended off, and that was with the whole Luke Skywalker lightsaber thing with Rey. And I was like, oh, what's he gonna say? come on, what are you gonna do? He just gets the lightsabers and throws it behind him. I was like, what? Why? 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 You know that line? Shout out to that. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyways, yeah, I was like, what? A lot of people, it was kind of a funny moment, like just cause like the way it looked, but you got the point across. Like, yeah, he's like, yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'm out. So I was like, okay, you know, interesting move. And then, you know, it's from then on, I kind of feel like it's what's a good reference to that? I would say it's kind of like, I would say it's like Karate Kid. Yeah, it's probably like Mr. Miyagi. Luke Skywalker is Mr. Miyagi. Would I say it like that, or would I reference it more to maybe Billy? That's not Billy Madison, which is the golf one? The Adam Sandler golf movie. I'm forgetting the name. Anyways, I'm getting off track. Anyways, it's about a reluctant leader that doesn't want to train a student, but then gets sucked into training a student. One of those kinds of movies. And I was like, okay, interesting. I like where this is going. Unexpected though, because Luke Skywalker's like, oh, I want to join the rebellion. I'm going to go kick some ass. That's how he was as a little kid. Now as an old man, he's like, fuck this. I'm out. So, you know, but I don't blame him. Like, he's seen some shit. Like, he kind of had his dad killed. He's gone through a lot, so I don't blame him. And then they had this whole story about like, oh, you gotta learn these lessons or whatever, which I get. And then it's like, oh, you've seen the dark side and you immediately went to it or whatever. But then she was Rey was like, hey, you weren't there. So like that's when you know that Luke kind of like officially like cut himself off from the Force. So it's like, huh, interesting. There's the weird part of the movie to me was I think it cuts back to like the whole like I think it's Snoke ship. I want to say it's called the Supremacy, but I can't be sure. But I want to say it's called Supremacy. And it was it kind of started shooting at some other ships were shooting at the fucking ship that Leia was on, and then she, you know, her Admiral Akbar and a couple like leaders like blew up, and I was like, oh fuck, because like, you know, like Carrie Fisher's dead, and I was like, okay, so they're kind of like dealing with this now, like, okay, so she's not gonna come back. But then I was like, you know, oh, it's so sad, whatever, like not oh whatever, but like I'm not gonna like cry on camera. Anyways, when she uses the Force coming back, I was like, do I like that? Do I like that, or is that stupid? I'm not sure, because I really love the moment of her like oh, okay, she's alive. But her pose like this kind of freaked me out. And I was like, you never see her use the Force, but at the same time, you know she's Force sensitive because she's obviously a Skywalker, but she's never used it before. But then she has used it like in the books and some novels. So I feel like that would bother people that aren't like balls deep into Star Wars. Like there's people that like Star Wars and they're like, okay, what? But then there's people like me that are like balls deep into Star Wars and like, no, she's Force sensitive. And even I was like, I wonder how other people are gonna react to that. But it was a cool scene. And it was also sad too, because I was very concerned because I was like, okay, yeah, she's dead in real life, so they gotta like either find a way to write her out of the movie or something. And the way she died was no, it wasn't from that ship. It was Kylo Ren. He was gonna blow her up, and it was from that trailer where he kind of like he's about to blow her up, but then he doesn't. But then the TIE fighters next to him blow it up, and he's like, ugh. I like that. I like everyone was bitching about Kylo Ren, saying, "Oh, he's just an emo fanboy who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about." This movie's gonna shut your whore mouth. Anyways, yeah, Kylo Ren's he's a boss in this one. Okay, so now we go back to the island, and then you know you see all the porg stuff, and everyone's freaking out. The porgs, I like the porgs. You know, I wasn't like 100% into the porgs like everyone else was, but I also wasn't hating all the porgs like everyone else was. I was kind of like, you know, porgs are cool. You know, in the movie they're cool. There's a lot of funny moments with the porgs. My favorite one is having Chewbacca eat like a grilled porg, I guess. And then the porgs are just kind of looking at him, and he's like, "What?" That was funny. Now, where does the movie go from there? Oh yeah. So from there, Finn and what's the other girl's name? Rose. There you go. Finn and Rose. I really like Rose a lot. She's gonna have a big future in those Star Wars movies. Um, they have their own story where they go to like a planet having to like deactivate the tracker from the supremacy. I think it's called the supremacy. Don't correct me. I doubt you know it either. Anyways, that thing, they have to go inside it to disable the tracker and then have the other ships like go away without noticing. Basically, what I don't like was that because of a character writing them out and then them already kind of knowing what they were gonna do, goes to shit. I kind of feel like that was a wasted storyline, but wasted storyline in terms of progression of story, but not progression of characters and introduction of certain characters and all that stuff. But there's a character named DJ, and then as shit's going on, like, you know, oh, okay, I'll help you guys, whatever, and then eventually you find out he sold him out, and because he was in trouble, I was like, huh, that's such a Lando Calrissian thing to do. So I'm guessing DJ's the new Lando, my guess. Where else? Where could I go with this? Okay, so yeah, that's happening. The Phasma stuff, I was confused because Force Awakens, my biggest problem was like, yeah, Phasma was kind of wasted. But this time, they don't really do much else with Phasma. She has cool fight scenes, but in terms of like who she is, I was kind of like, because I do know they have like a whole fucking novel on her, and apparently it's like a really badass novel. It's called Phasma, obviously. You know, there's not really much like who she is and what her purpose is. It's more like, you traitor, I shall kill you. But she does have cool badass fight scenes, and then like there's a scene where like her face gets like beaten up, so you see like her face, like her eye, like her actual eye. That shit was cool. It reminded me of that scene in Star Wars Rebels where Ahsoka Tano and Darth Vader were fighting, and then she gashes his face and you see his eye. Kind of reminded me of that scene. Okay. Oh yeah. Before then, I skipped the entire plot line. Was they're basically Finn and Rose were like on this like a Las Vegas kind of planet where there's a bunch of gambling and stuff, and I felt like, is this kind of a preachy moment? Because they were like, oh, we got to save the animals, and the animals are going to be free. Oh, we got to hit them where it hurts in their pockets. You know, like, I was like, okay, I'll go with it. But like, you know, you don't have to like beat me over the head with that. But it was all cool. Because, you know, the little, I'm going to call them the llama-looking things. Those llama-looking things, they look cute. And they're running and they're riding, and I thought that was really badass. And then having BB-8 there, you know, was cool. And what I really like was seeing BB-9E. He wasn't there for a lot, but you see it and you're like, oh shit, that's an evil BB-8, but it's actually called BB-9E. Fun fact. I really wanted to see a fight between BB-9E and BB-8 just to see like what that would look like, but it didn't happen. But he does, BB-9E does have a a small like role to play in terms of like alerting the First Order. Oh yeah. Other thing, at the end of the movie, I'm skipping, like, I'm gonna be jumping back and forth, but whatever. At the end of the movie, there was they were saying, oh, we could like restart the rebellion or whatever, because like the resistance fighters, there's only like what, 15 people now? I'm exaggerating, but there's like a little bit of resistance fighters. And like, oh yeah, we're gonna be the spark of the rebellion fire, whatever, whatever. And I was like, rebellion? Okay, but okay, in my eyes, resistance, rebellion, same fucking thing, just different names. But apparently the resistance is gonna become the rebellion again. But First Order, I don't think it's gonna become the Empire again because there's no emperor. Basically, it's just Kylo Ren. But yeah, whatever. I'm skipping forward. Okay, I gotta stay on track with this because this is a long fucking thing. I can just tell by how much I'm talking. Okay, so I ended up the thing. We already went to Phasma. Okay, so meanwhile, Rey and Kylo Ren discover that they have a connection because, like, you know, she'll just be there and she kind of looks up and there's Kylo Ren, but Kylo Ren's kind of experiencing the same thing from her. It's like, I don't know. Like, oh, if you've seen the movie, you already know what I mean, but I'm not gonna explain it. Just if you've seen the movie, you know what the fuck I mean by like they're there, but they're not really there. Before then, I never understood what the point was. I think it was like so that she could see into the future or time. I'm guessing it's like where she goes into a black hole and then she does like that snappy thing, and then it's like a little ripple effect until like she does it because they show her in sort of in the middle of that. So I'm guessing it's her being able to like see into the future, or maybe see what happens when she makes certain decisions. That's my guess. And she apparently she saw Kylo Ren not kneeling to Snoke and her being the bad one. But yeah, I don't 100% stand that scene that well, but what I got from it was basically, oh, okay, I see what happens in that throne room of Snoke. Okay, so now we jump into where she goes from the Millennium Falcon into the Supremacy, and Kylo Ren kind of gets her and like has her in handcuffs and shit. And she's like, "What the fuck? You know, like I thought we were gonna like, you know, like kind of be friends or something," because they touched hands and shit. And you know, Luke Skywalker was like, "What the fuck?" Oh yeah, that was important. Luke Skywalker was like, "Okay, you gotta leave. That's not cool." But then you know she finds out that Luke Skywalker was gonna kill Kylo Ren. She knew that because he said because that's what Kylo Ren told her. But then Luke Skywalker says, "Oh, but that's because you know, I knew that he had like, you know, too much Snoke had corrupted his mind, so I got to take action." Then Kylo Ren says that happened, but he like I don't know how to explain it, but like they kept going back to that story, like, oh, it was a plot twist. Oh, but then this happened, and then from the oh yeah, but this happened, and then it jumped like, oh yeah, but this and this. So basically, at the end of the line, Luke Skywalker was going to kill Kylo because he sensed too much Snoke has corrupted his mind, that he already knew that he was going to like fuck shit up. So he was going to kill him, but then he wasn't. But then by the time he decided he wasn't going to, Kylo Ren was like, the fuck, blue lightsaber, and then, you know, bashed the whole new generation of Jedi that Luke Skywalker was going to make. Okay, so now we are back to Kylo Ren and Rey. Okay, so now that Kylo Ren and Rey are, you know, they're just there talking, and then they get to Snoke's room, and then Snoke's like, "Oh, okay, whatever, you know, you're really powerful, blah, blah, blah." And then you like bow down to me, and then she's all resistive, but you know, he's still able to overpower her. And then she tries to get her lightsaber from him, but you know, the lightsaber like swings around her head, like hits her in the head, and then goes back to him. I was like, okay, wow, I actually thought she was gonna catch her or something. Have it be like Return of the Jedi. Okay, so now at this point, Kylo Ren is being told to kill Rey. And at this point, you already kind of know that he's gonna like, I thought he was gonna give the lightsaber to Rey. That's what I would thought. But he was turning the lightsaber with the Force and then turned it on with the Force and killed Snoke and killed him in half. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I assumed Snoke was gonna be like the big bad over the 3 flicks and not die like in the second movie. But that was just me being like, you know, presumptuous. That's a good word. So yeah, he does that. And then there's this amazing fight scene. It might be my favorite like lightsaber fight with like Kylo Ren and Rey side by side fighting all those like red samurai looking guards. That was such a cool fight. And you know, they're all helping each other out, and then there's a scene where like his lightsaber gets like away from him, and then she like throws her lightsaber to him, like he's like in a chokehold or something, and his hand's like this, and then like he like, oh, there's like a guy behind him, and he like fucking gets him in the head. Amazing shit. It's like I had a physical reaction to that movie. Everyone did. Everyone was like, oh fuck! Like everyone in the theater loved it. Oh yeah. Did I do this before or after? I don't know if this was before or after, but it's around that time where Luke Skywalker gets a visit from Yoda. And I was like, oh shit. And it looked kind of weird because I was like, you can't tell if he's CGI or if he's a puppet because he had like that blue Force Ghost glow around him. But then it kind of like, whereas like, it kind of like the blue stuff goes away and it just looks like Yoda as a puppet. And I was like, huh, cool shit. And Yoda's like, hey man, like, you know, you could burn all that shit down, don't matter because, you know, Rey, she's already knows what she's got to know. Like, I feel like Yoda's one of the laziest Jedi Masters of all time because, you know, in Dagobah, Empire Strikes Back, Yoda's like, oh, you have to finish your training, dude. I wouldn't suggest going over to save your friends, but if you want to, I'm not going to stop you. But I'm just saying, you got to finish your training before you face Darth Vader. And then Luke Skywalker's like, fuck it, I'm going to go save my friends. But in Return of the Jedi, you know, Yoda's all old and he's about to die and shit. And then Luke Skywalker comes back to Dagobah to finish his training. He's like, hey, I'm here to finish my training. And then Yoda's like, he's like in bed. Yeah, you kind of already finished like what you already like know what you need to do. So like skedaddle, let me die. That's what happens. And I feel like that's what he did again in Last Jedi. He was like, yeah, she already knows what she's gotta know. I'll just let her. And then Luke was like, okay, whatever, fuck it. And you know, then you see like all this stuff in flames because Luke Skywalker was gonna blow it up. But Yoda blows it up. I was like, wow, cool. And he uses like lightning, like he was like Storm for a little bit. I'm talking so much. I hope you guys are still with this. Anyways, where was I now? Not Luke and Kylo Ren. Rey and Kylo Ren. So yeah, that happens, and then you know he's dead, and then Rey's like, okay, we can Kylo Ren was like, hey, so we could like let everything die. We could, you know, like no more Jedi, no more Sith, no more rebellion, no more First Order, whatever the fuck. She's like, yeah, no, not a fan. He's like, but then at that point, you know the chick I told you about earlier that was like, I thought she was kind of mean. How she's like, oh yeah, and she's like, she lets she's all talking smack to Poe Dameron. The girl with the purple hair, forgot her name. Anyways, there's a scene where like all the rescue ships or escape pods are leaving, and then she turns like that big ship around and goes light speed into like all the fucking ships, and there was like no sound. Everyone in the theater was like, what the